Gentlemen, welcome. Please find a seat and relax. We have a lot to discuss. Welcome, one and all. I'm KC.
And I'm DC.
And we are two goddamn gentlemen bringing to you this and every week a celebration of all things malpractice and malfeasance. Head over to twogoddamngentlemen.com where you can find the links to our Twitter, voicemail, YouTube, and Patreon, which gains you access into our live Discord during the show and our bonus episodes, a new one of which will be recorded this Thursday. DC, if you would, please read back the minutes to last week's meeting.
Well, as you all know, for those of you who listened last week anyway, John Bodkin Adams, the demon doctor of wherever the hell he was from in England, and old Tommy Tooter were the nominees. I felt like Tommy Tooter was definitely a gentleman, but Bodkin Adams was a little bit, I don't know, debatable for me. Too much killing for my liking in a gentleman myself. But
I mean, nary an argument for me on Tommy Tooter. He was quite the guy, but DC, it is results time. This is a results-oriented game here, of course. Why don't you take us through it?
So there he is. John Bodkin Adams gets a positive 5. Russell Greer moves down to even. No one can decide on Russell Greer. Here's a hint. He's not really that gentlemanly. He could probably due to lose a few more spots. King Henry retains his title of the ultimate gentleman. Mel Gibson does gain on him a little bit. And Porter Rockwell basically stayed in the same spot. I don't see Tommy Tooter here. That makes me sad. Yet again, my nominee finds himself in the dregs at negative 11 this time. I really thought he was going to do it. Darkside Phil moves into a tie with Martin Shkreli at negative 8. Jeff Wilpon is the closest to the poverty line, still underneath it. And Yaniv is gaining on Maddox, who gained another, I think, 2 or 3. What a bunch of hateable characters on this side of the gentleman spectrum, I can tell you.
Maddox is still the ultimate miscreant. What a title to hold. It's really, it's an honorable place to be. And I think, I mean, it all boils down to, and you can just tell the difference. King Henry, Mel Gibson on one side, Yaniv and Maddox on the other. Like, we know what a gentleman really is now.
I think we do. I think we're getting closer, and I'm still going to attempt to unseat Maddox. Casey, raise your hand if you're excited about that prospect. Now raise the other one if you're straight. Oh. How'd your surgery go, buddy? That was another minute that we needed to rehash. We did a Thursday night record last week. Thank you to those of you who was in the Discord. And this week we're back to Friday, and you are in a sling. So you're looking like your stick figure from our Twitter.
It's actually uncanny how similar. The stick figure is far thinner. But outside of that, we're very similar in how we look. No, surgery was good. It was a ripoff in some ways because I get these 3 tiny little holes in my shoulder. No real scar to speak of. You know, nothing.
Yeah, I didn't know they could do a shoulder surgery like that laparoscopically because that's what it looked like.
Yeah, people keep using that word, and I keep seeing what they did. So now I know what that means. Yeah, no, dude, it was not it was not that bad. Sleeping has been terrible because I can't lie down, really, like for more than 3 minutes. Just lying down in any direction, gravity's not on my side. And it really, I mean, if you've listened since the first episode, it's good for some parts of my anatomy, as DC pointed out, when I lie down. But right now for my shoulder, it's not the best thing. So I've been sleeping in a recliner. This would be night 8 of recliner sleeping. So aside from that, it's not been
that
terrible.
Could be really good or really bad. Sleeping in the recliner. I mean, that could be really good or really bad.
Yeah, there's a definite shout out to my late grandfather who passed away last year. I would be sleeping in the world's most uncomfortable chair ever, outside of your old chair that used to be here.
That's lies, slander. How dare you? How dare you? To this day.
I would be sleeping in a very uncomfortable chair if his hadn't come here last year. So I got lucky in that regard because it hasn't been that bad. But you want to sleep in I'm in my apartment. My bed's right there. It looks really nice, and I can't get in it. But no, I have no real complaints. I'm off pain meds now. I'm really happy we did not do the show when I was on pain meds. Because
oh man, I don't know. I don't think I am happy about that.
No, because
I'm glad you didn't embarrass yourself.
Here was the cycle that it took almost every time. It was like the first 45 minutes to an hour, it was just kind of starting to kick in and make the pain go away, but no real other effects. And then all of the nonsense that I say constantly, like I'm talking all the time, and I'm always trying to fuck around. And all of the nonsense that I would say normally was just amplified and put to a magnitude that I didn't think was possible. And then about an hour after that, or an hour 20 minutes after that, I'd get very sleepy and I'd take a nap. So it really probably wouldn't.
You sound like my 3-year-old. You sound like my 3-year-old.
What's going on with the 3-year-old?
You sound like my 3-year-old.
Oh, I sound like my 3-year-old. Oh yeah. I thought you said
all his nonsense is just amplified to a 10.
Taking naps. I was like, oh, good. That's got him early.
Well, that too.
No, it's been fine. I'm looking for I can kind of lift it now. Like I can go up to like there, and it gets
good.
further up, closer to my shoulder. I keep on doing things when I don't have the sling on. Like I was doing the dishes, and one dish started to fall, and I just instinctually just was like, I got it, and I was like, oh well, that didn't feel good. It wasn't great, but
right.
My shoulder, it will survive, but it won't be nominated tonight.
Okay, well that's good. Before you get to your nomination, I wanted to give a last minute shout out to the 3 listeners in Netherlands. You know who you are. I sure don't know who you are, but to the 3 listeners in the Netherlands, thank you. Please tell your friends, the English-speaking ones, or the non-English-speaking ones. I don't care.
Subtitles coming next week.
Dude, our subtitles on the YouTube channel episodes are spot on. They're really good. I highly recommend watching the YouTube with the captions on. You can read how funny our jokes actually are. When we talk over each other, YouTube gets both of us. It's really great.
And there's no better way to take in this podcast than in 0.5 speed, because we sound just hammered drunk. It's really good. It's really enjoyable. So I couldn't recommend. It's going to take longer to listen to the show. I understand that. Maybe do it in spurts, but it puts into perspective the wisdom that we're spewing out here.
I love it.
DC, is it nomination time?
I'm on a massive delay. I don't know if you're getting that or if everybody else is getting that, but we'll power through this, and I'll do my best to react appropriately. But just know, it's like
okay.
1
All right.
second.
Yeah, you seem super fine on my end, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. We'll figure it out.
Okay. All right, nominee
DC. For those of you watching on the YouTube or live in the Discord, you can see I have a beautiful setting this week. I have flown to Washington D.C. for my nomination. DC, if you would please tell us what you remember about this great man, John Edwards.
When you first told me that your gentleman nomination was going to be John Edwards, I knew he was in government. I didn't know if he was a senator or a representative. But for some reason, I thought he was like this super Christian-y guy. And then it turns out, the more I looked into it, I did remember him correctly as a politician. He was a senator, but I don't think he was. The guy I was getting mixed up with was John Edward, the fucking psychic that would get up on stage and like tell people like, your grandma, her name is Janet, Jane, help me out here. Molly. Yes, Molly. That's what I was going to say. So this is not that guy, but he was what? Kerry's running mate? He was Kerry's vice presidential running mate. Got BTFO'd by Cheney and all the debates.
He was an American hero, DC. That's who he was. And still is to this day. We'll go through why. I am going to skip over the bulk of his political career because really all the fun stuff started in about 2004. Well, the fun stuff didn't start in 2004, but 2006. The story starts in 2004. DC, John Edwards, you were right. He did run for vice president and eventually announced his nomination for president of these United States. And I think it was going to happen, but a few things went wrong along the way, as you would imagine they did. First off, terrible tragedy. His wife Elizabeth is diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer.
So
that's
the
in
worst
2004.
kind of cancer a wife can get.
It's a bad kind. She's gonna have to deal with this. He's got his political career. He's got to juggle these things now, but he does. Right. He's able to do that, and we get a kind of look into where John is coming from here.
Senator Edwards, who do you consider to be your moral leader?
My wife, who I think is the finest human being I've ever known.
Okay. That's a beautiful sentiment. His wife is his spiritual leader. Now, DC, we're seeing this more and more these days. Coverage of people, web series. Everybody's got a behind the scenes going on. LeBron James has his own production company. All these things, right? So earlier on, you would start to do that, I guess, in the 2000s. So in 2006, John meets Riel Hunter, a self-described filmmaker, at a bar in New York City. Really met her on the street. DC, if you would, your first impressions of Riel.
When did he meet her? In the 2000s? Not 1979?
That's correct. 2006, actually.
Oh God. Okay.
So
she looks like she's in her mid 40s, but trying to still be in her late 20s.
That's a theme. That's a theme that we'll stick with. You're going to notice. Now, we're going to take a brief aside because I'm going to give you a couple of spoilers on where we're going, DC. Now, you can imagine it's 2006. John Edwards meets this girl. She's a self-described filmmaker. What could possibly go wrong? Our guy is going to face some accusations. Now, it's unfortunate to hear, but it's true. It's what's coming for John. So, DC, what I want to play for you is a clip of Riel. Now we're going to zoom ahead to 2012 as she does an interview for her book tour. And she's going to tell you how they met.
Riel Hunter, involved in one of the biggest political sex scandals ever, reveals what she says really happened when she met John Edwards and how their affair became a tangle of lies and political ruin.
Do you regret falling in love with a married man?
I don't regret falling in love, and I don't regret loving him, nor do I regret our daughter.
A chance encounter at a New York hotel in 2006 started it all.
So he rounded the street corner, and it came out of my mouth, "You're so hot."
That was the first step toward an invitation that would change both their fates.
He invites you to his hotel room. Why did you go?
I went there because I believed that I could help him.
Help him with what? Let me
well,
ask
I mean,
you
like,
again.
what a joke. No, like, from the outside world looking in, like, boy, did you sure help him.
But Hunter, an aspiring spiritual advisor, realizes Edwards isn't looking for advice.
He eventually persuaded me to come sit with him on the bed.
Now, is the radar going off?
Something happened internally with me. I responded. I have never seen that before.
You've never
I had not experienced it or felt what was happening before, ever. In intensity, like a rock concert.
God, I hate her so much.
DC, meet the problem.
So 100%.
There are so many parts of that.
She initiated
that
it. Mm-hmm. You're so hot. That was the first step. No, that was the last step. As soon as he heard "you're so hot,"
steps.
that's it. Done. Last step. Come on up to my hotel room. Okay.
She was an aspiring
She's the worst.
spiritual advisor. What does that mean?
She gives free opinions on nonsense.
And she wanted to help him.
Well, he got onto this podcast, so I mean, she did her job as far as I'm concerned. This is the height of his popularity. Yeah.
Can we hire her to be our publicist? This might be worth something to us.
She's still alive?
I do believe so. Yeah, actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
for
I do
her.
believe. I think she's still kicking. Yeah, she's still out there doing the thing.
Man.
So DC, they meet, and we're gonna get to how these wild accusations come about. We'll get to that. So, Plain Truth, the first of a series of web documentaries or webisodes, chronicling Edwards' course on the campaign trail. He's announced his candidacy for presidency in 2008. Is being produced by the newly hired Hunter and commissioned by his political action committee. They film episodes. Yeah, so she's the director now. So they film episodes August through October. I'm not going to mention the names of them because they don't matter until the 4th episode called The Plug, which, come on. Too easy. Too easy. It's taped in New York City.
What was the 4th episode of their documentary called?
I didn't get that, actually. No, I only got the name of the 4th encounter.
Bummer.
So I guess he hadn't formally announced his candidacy yet because that happens in December. So episodes are airing. Elizabeth's been in remission for a little while, and then in March of 2007, she announces during a press conference in North Carolina that her cancer has returned and that while it is treatable, it is no longer curable. It's terrible news, but he's a good guy. He's going to take care of his wife. Elizabeth and John celebrate their 30th anniversary at a local Wendy's, which I'm sure was a really nice occasion.
Sorry about your cancer, honey. Where do you want to go for our anniversary dinner? Let's go to the melting pot. How about Wendy's?
Nothing speaks to our love like a double Baconator. That's how much I truly love you. DC. The National Enquirer has now come out with a story in October of 2007 reporting that Edwards has had an affair with a former campaign staffer. But the publication doesn't mention Hunter by name or source any of the information. But let's check in with our protagonist, John.
Story's false. It's completely untrue and ridiculous. I've been in love with the same woman for 30 plus years, as anybody who's been around us knows.
So,
that could be true. It could both be true.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm playing that because it's true, DC. That's what I'm saying. Let's check in with John one more time.
I know that it's not possible that this child could be mine because of the timing of events. So I know it's not possible. Happy to take a paternity test and would love to see it happen.
The senator wants to say, first
so that's
of all,
a little look into our future of John, the man who has nothing to hide.
The interviewer dropped the ball so hard there. After that answer, he should have been like, because of the timing of the events, what does that mean? What do you mean by timing of the events? Exactly.
Yeah, timing of the events. Edwards denies he's had an affair. Story is false. Untrue, ridiculous. Been in love with the same woman. He loves that line. Same woman for 30 plus years. And as anybody who's been around us knows, she's an extraordinary human being. Warm, loving, beautiful, sexy, and as good a person as I've ever known. All probably true.
All probably true. And flat.
Well, not at the beginning. Not the whole time. It's false advertising, really. That's what it is.
Those are sour goods. You sold me a sour bill of goods there.
So we just saw a clip of an interview, and the reason that interview came about, DC, because this photo in December of 2007 surfaces. If you would, for the audio listeners, please tell what we're seeing here.
It's that crazy woman, and she's very pregnant.
She certainly is.
And she's got somewhere to be.
It's not great news. Not great news for John. So, Riel gives birth to Francis Quinn Hunter. The father's name is left off of the birth certificate. That's in February. In July, it is reported by the National Enquirer that Edwards has visited the mother and daughter at a Beverly Hills hotel Probably just checking in. Former staffer.
Probably
Gotta-
just, yeah.
taking care of her. See, do you need groceries? Is there anything I can bring you?
Do you need coffee? It's very difficult to have a child all the time. I feel bad for you. If that was my child, I would do this, but it isn't. So I'll be on my way now.
but it's
Bye.
but it's not. But it's not. Just
But
for
it's
the record,
not.
But it's not.
The timing of the events, ma'am, do not line up.
If you would analyze them like I have, you would know that. But you haven't.
But you haven't.
So DC, despite what we've heard, a statement comes out, and I'm not the greatest reader out loud, but if you would bear with me, from August 2008, statement from John Edwards. In 2006, I made a serious error in judgment and conducted myself in a way that was disloyal to my family and to my core beliefs. I recognized my mistake, and I told my wife that I had a liaison with another woman, and I asked for her forgiveness. Although I was honest in every painful detail with my family, I did not tell the public. When a supermarket tabloid told a version of the story, I used the fact that the story contained many falsities to deny it, but being 99% honest is no longer enough. So he's being 99% honest now. Are you with him on that? You believe that?
99.9% honest. The 0.1 was the whole kid and the sex thing.
That's the only part that he had a little issue with. Yeah. Outside of that,
But it
though,
was not on Friday. We did not go to that restaurant on Friday.
It was not
That's a
on
lie.
Friday at 4. It was not on Friday at
And I
4.
do not own a yellow tie with green stripes. That is that is absurd.
That
is
that
green
tie
with
is
yellow
mustard
stripes.
at best. But I don't own it.
Oh, I love it.
I was and am
99%.
I was and am ashamed of my conduct and choices, and I had hoped that it would never become public. With my family, I took responsibility for my actions in 2006, and today I take full responsibility publicly. But that misconduct took place for a short period in 2006, and again, we're taking all this at face value. We know this is true. It ended then. I am and have been willing to take any test necessary to establish the fact that I am not the father of any baby, and I am truly hopeful that a test will be done so this fact can be definitively established. I only know that a parent father has said publicly that he is the father of the baby. I also have not been engaged in any activity of any description that requested, agreed to, or supported payments of any kind to the woman or the apparent father of the baby. Let's note all that,
Or the
DC.
apparent father of the baby. Okay.
Not the father.
It's a lot.
Gave no money. All of that,
Gave
we
no
are
money.
positive. He sums up here, it is inadequate to say to the people who believed in me that I am sorry, as it is inadequate to say to the people who love me that I am sorry. In the course of several campaigns, I started to believe that I was special and became increasingly egocentric and narcissistic. If you want to beat me up, feel free. You cannot beat me up more than I have already beaten up myself. I love that one. That's never true. I beat myself up a lot, but I've never been hit by a train. And I believe that would be worse. I have been stripped bare and will now work with everything I have to help my family and others who may need my help. I have given a complete interview on the matter, and having done so, will have nothing more to say. And scene.
I'm John Edwards, and I approve this message. John Edwards, 08.
Get out the vote.
Oops. Yeah.
Now, DC,
More than a vote, Casey. It's more than a vote.
we heard a line earlier from John. We heard a line earlier that's going to be revisited here, but it's worded slightly differently. Just going to notice the subtle
Were
difference.
you in love with her? I'm in love with one woman. I've been in love with one woman for 31 years.
So the only difference there is now he said 31 years, because now the scandal has come out, and no real alterations to the line. Now the scandal's come out, we know he's involved in these things, but everything is status quo. Just like his statement right there. Hey, had a bad night, or good night, know what I mean? But I had a bad night overall. But that's it. It's over. It was not a big deal. You believe that? You good with that?
No, I don't believe that at all. Not at all. Not one bit. I'm voting down John Edwards, not a gentleman. He's really
Elizabeth
going to have to try
Edwards.
hard to get my vote here.
Well, just wait. We're not done. Elizabeth Edwards appears on the Oprah Winfrey Show in May 2009 to talk about her book. In the interview, she addresses her husband's affair, but doesn't use Riel Hunter's name. Edwards says she doesn't know whether her husband is the father. Quote, I've seen a picture of the baby. I have no idea. It doesn't look like my children, but I don't have any idea. So I didn't want to really go into Elizabeth too much. You know, we're going to get to this very shortly, but Elizabeth is not around, so she can't defend herself. So we're not going to go too hard at her. But this story, I found the story itself fascinating, but actually the reporter really brought this one home for me. She's a delight. Mm-hmm. This story from the campaign trail, DC, during the scandal, as it were.
A woman named Christina Reynolds. She was a senior top aide to the senator, but also a really, really good friend of Elizabeth Edwards. She told a story about a distraught Elizabeth Edwards, who told her a few days earlier, I think John is back having that same affair with that woman again. On October 10th, 2007, there was a National Enquirer article reporting there had been an affair. And the very next day, they're on a tarmac at a private jet port in Raleigh, North Carolina, getting ready to leave, and Elizabeth has a meltdown. She says to her husband something like, you don't see me anymore. She ripped off her blouse. She ripped off her bra in front of everyone on the tarmac, all the congressional staffers, and she began to yell at her husband. Christina Reynolds testified that she and another staffer rushed to her, tried to cover her up, got her inside, and then she went home. She did not go on this campaign trip at all. John Edwards was a mess at the defense table. His face.
Go ahead.
Just picturing her, just like, you see this? Ah! It's just like a mess. Just a mess of scar tissue and like a nipples up here and like one's down here. It's just awfully embarrassing for everybody. I did this for us. This was for us. You said you love me like this. And he's like, oh, I do. I love you for 31 years. I love you so much.
I did. Yes, I did. I swear. In August of 2009, Riel testifies in a federal courthouse before a grand jury investigating Edwards' campaign finances. That's not great news. He's already lost the presidency now, by the way. He had to withdraw from all that nonsense. Edwards' political action committee paid Hunter more than $100,000 to her filmmaking company, according to campaign finance records. In December of 2010,
you should have seen what the Obamas paid her for her story to John Edwards.
December 2010,
and what the John Edwards clone cost.
Oh God,
to go hang out on the tarmac with her.
Very pricey. Stare, just no response to everything going on in front of him. Yell away. Elizabeth passes away in December of 2010. And 8 days later, ABC News announces that Andrew Young, John Edwards' former longtime aide, will speak exclusively to ABC News correspondent Bob Woodruff regarding his upcoming memoir, The Politician. Is there anything more hateable than people that come out with books about people they worked for that were interesting? I hate that.
Yeah, people who come out with books for people who work for people who aren't interesting. Why would you write this? Asshole.
I just wish this paragraph didn't have to exist. I guess I could have deleted it, but it does matter because Young writes in the book that Edwards is the father of Riel's child. It's the first time that this has come out and somebody's been confident saying, like, yeah, he definitely is, from the inner circle. So the interview aired on Good Morning America, and about a month later, January 21st, Edwards admits he is the father. Bum, 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 bum. It was wrong for me to ever deny that she was my daughter, and hopefully one day when she understands, she will forgive me, said Edwards in a statement. DC, we rounded up here. Edwards is then indicted in June of 2011 in connection with the massive amounts he spent trying to outrun the story and keep the pregnant mistress in hiding. The case of USA versus Johnny Reed Edwards contained 6 counts, including conspiracy, 4 counts of illegal campaign contributions, and 1 count of false statements. The indictment and culmination of a federal investigation that lasted more than 2 years and scoured through virtually every corner of his career. But, DC, if we've learned one thing on this podcast, it is that a gentleman is always fucking acquitted. You're goddamn right he was. Charges dropped.
That's right.
Charges dropped.
No harm done. No
and
harm
now I like
done.
to think he's just living a quiet life, you know? He's just having a good time. I have one more clip I want to play for you. Just there's no great context to it, but it's the right way to wrap this up because poor John takes a beating for all these accusations. But let's hear from Riel one more time.
But perhaps the most controversial part of the book is what Hunter chooses to say about Edward's late wife, Elizabeth. How she was using her cancer and her children as weapons in the war against a father trying to take care of his daughter.
What do you think the reaction is when the woman who's sleeping with the husband starts talking about the wife who is now dead from cancer?
There are a lot of people that go, wow, I understand, I get it, and there are a lot of people who will be outraged. The full truth has good and bad in it, and I feel for both my daughter.
And the truth is, she used her cancer as a weapon.
The kids involved. The full truth needs to be in the public domain. Their father's not a demon, and their mother's not a saint, and I'm not a homewrecker.
It's all cleared up then.
Yeah, that was 99% true.
John would have disagreed with the whole thing, but 1%, can get through. Yeah. So there you go, DC. That is my nomination for the week, Mr. John Edwards.
I love it, man. I can't imagine who didn't make the cut for you this week. Who you got for honorary?
Oh God, yeah. I have two honoraries that I'm really happy about this week. So this first guy is, I don't know if it's Ben Sass or Ben Sassy, but I like to imagine that it's Sassy.
I like to too.
Republican congressman, I guess, senator, something from Nebraska, and during the Amy Coney Barrett hearings, or I don't know, what the hell is it? A hearing? I guess it's a hearing.
It's a hearing. Yeah.
He had a very relevant, important question that I think we can all get behind.
From constitutional structure to baseball for a minute, if you will bear with me. Any of your kids play baseball or softball?
2 of our boys had a very brief career in baseball.
Gotcha. Well, it's obviously not as great a sport as football, but we can still call it the American pastime. And I'd like to talk about the Houston Astros, who are miserable cheaters. Sorry, Cornyn and Cruz, but both of the Texas senators sit on this committee. But I think all baseball fans know that the Houston Astros cheat. They steal signs. They bang on cans. They've done a whole bunch of miserable things historically, and they deserve to be punished probably more than they have been.
So that's nominee number 1 for me.
Tell us how you really feel about it, Senator Sass. Oh my God, that was the best.
I don't know what that had to do with anything, but the video went on for another 5 minutes, so that took up a lot of time.
He just needed to get that out. He needed everybody to hear what he thought about the Houston Astros and how big of cheaters they are, and they are. So good for him.
They certainly are.
And they're going to win the World Series again this year, and there's nothing anybody can do about it, Dodgers.
They're playing right now, and I turned it off, and I'm curious to see if they're staying alive still. I started rooting for them last night, just to piss everybody off that I can. DC, nomination number 2 for me. We talk about this a lot. The gotcha culture that we live in, but everyone thinks that their gotcha moment is a thing, and none of them are. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, did you hear what Trump said? It's over now. It's like, what month is that from? Is that from May of 2017? It's like,
which hour of tweeting was that from? Did he say something worse? Did he say something worse than grab her by the pussy? No. Well, until he does something worse than that, because I thought that was going to down him. And guess what? Did not.
Nope.
Sure did not.
So here we have a hero amongst us, an honorary gentleman this week, DC. And by the way, this worked. This was a major success, and thank God, because now Trump's done. Now it's over.
There was supposed to be a second debate where Joe Biden and Donald Trump are going to have a town hall debate where they'd be like walking around on a platform together, and then there'd be an audience, and the audience would ask them questions. Mm-hmm. This was supposed to be a really good debate format for Joe Biden because it wouldn't allow Donald Trump to just like yell all the time. But then COVID, and so they said, well, we'll have it be a remote town hall debate. And Donald Trump was like, I don't want to do that. And so Joe was like, okay, well, I'll just have the town hall then. And maybe you can have a town hall at some other time. Well, Donald Trump has decided to have a town hall, but at the exact same time. So you can only watch one or the other. There's only one reason for this. There's only one reason why Donald Trump wants to do this. It's so that he can brag that he got better ratings than Joe Biden, which, to be clear, doesn't matter. This isn't how votes happen. But if we did want to prevent Donald Trump from having even this very small win, we could all watch the Joe Biden town hall on every device we own simultaneously. Every phone, television, and computer.
Yeah, okay.
Good one, Hank.
Oh, my God. What an idiot.
Oh, that one really
he decided
really got me.
He decided to have it at the exact same time. So what you're telling me is that not only can he just yell if he wanted to, which he could do in a town hall setting. It's not like the person who's sitting in the chair while the other person stands and walks or whatever they decide to do can't just start yelling. He could do that if he wanted to, but instead he did the ultimate shut the fuck up. I'm going to do it at the exact same time as you so that somebody can literally not listen to you at the same time as me. Why do you have to care about the ratings? You can DVR shit. Last I heard in 2005.
DC,
what the hell is wrong with that guy?
If there were 7 nominees for president, I think I could watch all 7 live right now in this room in 3 minutes. I think I could have all of them on.
I think so too. I believe
not hard. And I have like 5 screens. If you only have one, you can still have more than one window. It's still possible. It's still doable.
No, we have to get everybody who's going to watch the Joe Biden to put 5 devices on at once because the ratings don't matter, guys. So let's all not do some crazy fucking thing that nobody's going to do because the ratings don't matter, right? A fucking idiot.
Yeah, it's
oh my God.
It's just I can't get enough of that stuff. And by the way, this guy Hank, we got a decent reaction from people in the chat. I guess people know who he is. I might have to.
He looked familiar.
I might have to revisit.
He looks like he was in like a Burger King commercial or something.
I might have to do some digging here on Hank, and maybe he'll be a nominee coming up. I'm not sure what's happening here. I might have stumbled upon somebody.
That's painful. Can I tap out? Can I like substitute
already?
in another co-host for Hank Green?
You're already downvoting?
I'm downvoting on all 5 of my devices at once. Guarantee you that.
Now I'm
fucking
fucked.
Dumbass.
Fucked.
Because that's not how voting works. Popularity and your attention is not how voting works.
They got him though. They won the ratings debate last night, I guess. So it was a good job.
That's so funny. Did they really?
Yeah. What I saw on Twitter, it looked like Biden had better ratings. But like, gives a shit. Who didn't figure it out yet? Like which side they're on? Who's this helping? I don't understand. But DC,
I don't know.
That wraps up my full DC presentation for tonight. We had John Edwards, Ben Sass, and Hank.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my nominees for the evening.
Hank,
my guy Hank.
Oh, I've got. Oh man, I'm so happy. I'm so happy about that. All right, Casey, I've got 2 honorary gentlemen myself. They did not make the cut. Did not hit the mark. The first gentleman, if you would cue up, yeah. This is actually the one guy who had a worse time in the hospital than you did, only getting 4 stitches that are like cute.
His head's all
dead. South Asia. Yep. And concussed again. Great work. My gentleman of the week in that video was, in fact, the doctor. who just let him scoot to the edge of a gurney that he knew was going down. But that happened. My second gentleman of the week is actually not the cameraman here. It is the man in the black pants running at this porta potty. Go ahead and everybody turn up your volumes to where it's just a little bit uncomfortable. You can see like poop fall out when she opens the door. You can see poop fall out. I hope he knew her, because if he did not know her, that was a terrible thing to do. If he knew her, that's fine.
If he knew her, then it's totally forgiven. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, she probably deserved that.
Oh my god, that's
just the screams. I think that you just imagine being in there, and all of a sudden the porta potty just tips and shit just.
Dude, have you
God.
had that fear before? I've thought of that at like concerts and stuff. Like you go into a porta potty. No, I've thought of that at concerts. I'm going in a porta potty. Like this could be the worst 4 minutes of my life if somebody really is into it. Like if they get really committed.
Yeah, maybe the mountain came to this concert and could push me over in this porta potty.
I'm not sure which part would be worse, the 7 broken bones or being covered in shit. I'm not sure which part I'd hate more.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. But those are my honoraries because, they're terrible people. Especially the guy with the head bandage. He's a terrible guy.
I might have to do some research on a story I'm being told in chat that somebody in the history of my family did knock someone's porta potty over. So I might have to do some research into that story and bring it next week.
Now, that's a story I would think you would remember. I'm always surprised by the things you don't remember.
Just everything. If you just lump everything into one category, that's usually what I don't remember. So it's a pretty easy list to parse through.
Well, Casey, without further ado, if you would please, my nomination for this week is John Stephen Bulla. This guy.
Look at this fucking winner.
Batshit crazy. This is his mugshot photo in 2017, I believe, maybe 2016. John Bulla. You know what? Why don't you play video number 1? This is like basically John Bulla in a nutshell.
Hello, I'm John Bulla, and this is the place where I want to meet people. There's a Subway restaurant. I want to meet very beautiful women.
That's it.
There you go. That's it. That sums up John Bulla better than any other video ever. He's batshit crazy.
He wants to meet beautiful women outside the Subway. What is wrong with that in any way?
There's a Subway restaurant here. I want to meet beautiful women. His life is a pretty sad story. He was born, I believe, in Florida. At the age of 6, allegedly was playing at a friend's house, and the friend got mad at him, so the friend shot him with a gun at 6 years old. Shot him in the stomach, but he says close to his heart, but anything he says is dubious as fuck. Like, you can't trust anything he says. Gets shot at 6. In his young adulthood, he meets the Mormons, and he's real gullible, as we'll get into, and he joined the Mormon Church. Casey, if you'll play video number 2, this is in John's words, kind of how he left the Mormon Church.
When I was in it, but he was a false prophet, and then I had a feeling about him. God told me he was a bad man, and I even had a vision that a serpent bit me. I was walking on a wall.
Pause it real quick, Casey.
Pause it.
So, I got to say this about John Bulla's videos to you guys too, because I feel like I have to warn you. John Bulla will kind of like if you know who Greg Opie Hughes is. Very popular radio show host, or was. He now...
If you don't know who he is, don't do research. We'll have you covered.
He will walk around with a phone recording himself and just saying nonsense, but he'll just walk around. And John Bulla does the exact same thing, but his voice is so monotone and weird that you could easily just get bored listening to what he says, because he drones on about nonsense, and then all of a sudden, boom, that way. Like, it's so crazy what the fuck he comes up with. You're like, wait, what the fuck did he just say? So I promise you, just hang in there, because every one of these videos is gold. All right, here we go.
I even had a vision that a serpent bit me. I was walking on a wall, and in front of me was a missionary that I did home teaching with, and I went to meet this girl and her mother. This girl's name was Helen Hare, and I really liked her. She was a white girl and had blonde hair, and I even asked her if she'd like to have sex sometimes, but we never did. We never had sex.
No way.
And anyway, God told me to leave and go to Independence, Missouri, so I had to leave her behind and left her at church.
I tried to have sex with this girl, and she wouldn't have sex with me. I had to leave her. It was sad.
I had to go. Because God told me to go to Missouri.
She was broken up about it really bad.
And I asked her to have sex, and we never did. We never had sex. No shit. No shit.
I asked her if she'd like to have sex sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Multiple times. You know, sometimes I just ask her if she wanted to have sex. We never did. We never had sex. All right, keep going with this one.
We went to Independence, Missouri, because that's what God told me to do.
Oh, there you go. And a gentleman always listens to God, especially when he tells you to move to Independence, Missouri.
You do it.
Which you may or may not remember from
I certainly
Porter Rockwell.
Independence seems like it's a hubbub of all kinds of Mormon activity.
Now, Casey, after all this, after John started to follow the preachings and the revelations of God, he started to descend into madness more and more. If you would just pull up image 2 for me. There he is. This is a nice Mormon-looking John Bulla. This is just a couple years later, image 3.
No.
Yeah. You might notice a stark difference in the coloring of his hair immediately and beard. This was not an accident, nor is it just weird aging. John Bulla decided it would be a good idea to start taking baths in hydrogen peroxide, which will bleach the shit out of all your hair.
I thought the kid from childhood came back and shot him in the head. Like, just changed it up this time.
Hydrogen peroxide. So,
oh my God, that doesn't burn? Of course it burns. It has to.
Oh yeah, it burns. It burns. Let me tell you. I bleached my hair in 8th grade with hydrogen peroxide, but I left it in way too long, and it looked like a highlighter.
I'm thinking about it. Next summer, I'm gonna go blonde. It's gonna look good.
I'm gonna frost the tips. That shit's coming back. Late 90s is coming back. KC, image number 4, if you would.
Wow, he's physically fit too. He's physically
fit. Now, KC, you may start noticing he doesn't have a shirt on. That's also part of his progression or regression, as it were. No clothes, and his necklace is growing. Go back to image 3. You can see he's got like a little bit of a... See that little rope necklace going?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Is that... there's 2. 3, you can kind of see the start of the necklace there. And then in image 4, the necklace just gets a little bit longer. His shirt comes off. And you can see the TV screen or computer screen. I think it's a TV screen monitor. There's like paper or tape that's like around the edges with writing on it.
Yeah.
It's his crazy freaking writing that makes no sense. It's all like his name, address, phone number. He's obsessed with his own doxing of himself. He just doxes himself. Like we'll get into that more. Go to image 5 for me.
Oh.
You'll see now the necklace is even bigger.
It's got a chain. It's got a carabiner on it. It's got the thing you attach a dog to a leash with.
He started using this necklace contraption as suspenders. People are suspecting. So the rope holds up his pants. The smile just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, it's something else. And the clothes hanging on the rack are just kind of shades of pink and like dirty white. I'm not
his
sure
house?
exactly
It's gotta
what's
be his
going
house.
on. Yeah, I think it's his house. If you would for me, go ahead and play video 3. This is going to tell you just kind of the religion and the madness start to take over John, and it comes out in his videos.
My old Twitter account is just at Paul45 Thomas. You should look in there because I type a lot of messages in Twitter every day, and I upload pictures to Twitter to show what's going on with me and talk about God and His church. And my church website is http://www.johnthebaptist.info. And this is God's only website for His only church. And my
only
name
website
is
for
written
His only
in
church.
the Holy
Don't forget
Book
that.
there. Go to the Holy Scriptures there. Then select the Word of the Lord brought to mankind by an angel book.
The word of the Lord brought to mankind by an angel book. That's what it's called. And his name is
like a
in
read.
it. I couldn't believe it. His name is in it. It's one of the most boring chapters I've ever read, but they tried to copy Joseph Smith's Doctrine and Covenants, where he would call members of the church on a mission, and then he would write it in there like God is calling them on a mission.
Oh.
And then he would marry their wives. But we'll get back to that when I bring in Joseph Smith. John Bulla got called on a mission, or was going to be ordained an elder of this crazy cult church. And so they wrote his name in the scriptures, and he's stoked about it. Not only is he stoked about it, but he thinks now that he is a prophet, because he is the only true prophet of the Church of God, of the Elijah message.
So he's not an aspiring spiritual advisor. He's there. He's reached.
He's the master. He is the master. He is a spiritual guru. Go ahead and play. Show image number 6, actually. I told you, don't forget, this is the one website for God's one true church. Heaven's Gate Cult disagrees, and their own website on March 22nd, 97, had this to say: "This is to be issued to the news media. By the time you read this, we suspect that the human bodies we were wearing have been found, and that a flurry of fragmented reports have begun to hit the wire services. For those who want to know the facts, the following statement has been issued. Heaven's Gate away team returns to level above human in distant space." So there you go. There's the facts.
The fuck?
Heaven's Gate
what
cult.
Was that
That's
about
going to
the
be
human bodies that we were wearing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is
Not
the
good.
Kool-Aid. This was the Kool-Aid cult that killed themselves in March 22nd, 1997. But they have a website. It's still active, and the church is still, I think, an entity who will accept donations. So that's good. So John was wrong about that. God's website comes in many forms, and yeah. Video number 4, Casey, if you would, for me.
About how Jesus Christ spoke to me from heaven when I was only 18 through a wall. And that was the first time I ever heard him 43 years ago. And then first before that, I saw Satan. I actually saw him. He came through the wall, passed through the wall, and I saw him as a spirit floating in the air. And he had black hair and a beard, curly beard, and he's
Oh, he's describing you. I thought you were trying to get me to pause. You're saying he's describing you.
Oh, no. I was just saying he had black hair and a beard.
I thought you were trying to get me to pause. No, you're right. He is describing you perfectly. That's great.
Until the end of the video.
He's really just a black man.
No. That's not you.
That's all.
That's not
Satan,
you.
He's really just a black man.
Turns out,
Casey, racism sneaks in. Yeah, turns out it wasn't me, and turns out racism sneaks in everywhere with John Bulla. If you'll go to video number 5 for me, please.
Forest Oaks Plaza, as you can see on the top of this sign, and there's a bunch of places here, and I don't see any black people at all around here, and nobody really. Even white people most of the time don't even come around here much. this time of night, though. It's late, you know.
He is Opie. He's Opie. He's just walking around.
There's not a lot of black people, or anybody, actually. I don't know why I said there's no black people. There's literally nobody here, but whatever. And Casey, as I said, constantly, John Bulla is doxing himself. If you'll play video number 6 for me. Actually, 6, 7, 8, and 9. As soon as we'll just play them all and talk about them all as we go.
Okay.
You can't stop doxing.
I gotta switch in between them. So here comes number 6.
Anyway, I want to make a short video, see if it'll upload to YouTube. My name is John Bulla, and my Twitter.com account name is @Paul PAUL 45 Thomas THOMAS, and my email account name is paul45thomas@gmail.com, and also
he's got more.
I have a Yahoo account by the same name, paul45thomas@yahoo.com, and I believe I have a Hotmail account also, but I'm not sure what the name is. But
that's my favorite part. He lists 3 of them. The 4th one, well, I don't know what it is. Probably fucking Paul45 Thomas at Hotmail. If I had to guess, you psycho.
All right, that was 6. God. Here's
7.
I'm looking for a very beautiful white girlfriend and roommate to share expenses with me. She doesn't have to be a girlfriend if she doesn't want to, but you know, I would like to share my house with somebody. Got a nice 2-bedroom house to share, and this is me here. You see me. I'm John Bulla, and my email accounts are.
Thank you for editing that. Holy shit.
Number 8. Number 8. Oh shit.
Oh, God damn it. I just hurt my arm.
My name is John Bulla, and my email accounts are plural.
First off, his name's John Bulla, and all his email shit is Paul45 Thomas. What the fuck is he doing?
To what she does for a living, and she said she's a manager of the Subway restaurant, and I don't know what she does, but I never seen her there. I went to the Subway restaurant, and their Wi-Fi connection doesn't work right. Anyway, my phone number is 727.
It's just complete non sequiturs. Anyway, my phone number is. Number 9.
He makes me laugh so hard. My social security number is 681. Oh my God. Which one are we up to here?
9. We're on 9 now.
Video 9.
54th Avenue North, St. Petersburg, Florida, lot 459. And some people probably remember me when I used to live in that place. It's an evil place. I'm glad I'm out of there. That's a very bad place that I was in. And I've got recordings of Satan himself speaking. I've even got a recording of Jesus Christ speaking. And I'm going to share that on YouTube. I've got a recording of a legion demons who are aliens calling me from outer space from the planet Jupiter using satellites, they said. And they called themselves Watusa. That was his legion demon name. And I got that recorded, and I want to share that on YouTube eventually. I got many other recordings. I got a recording of a demon called the Michelin Man demon, after the tire company called Michelin Tire Company.
I'm telling you, dude, you have to wait till the very end. He'll just take it right left. Oh my God. And the other demon, the Michelin Man demon, after the tire company, the Michelin Tire Company.
Oh my God!
All
dude.
right, Casey.
He's so funny.
There are other demons in John's life. If you'll go to video 10.
Oh, certainly.
Same, so that you have no problem knowing who I am, but nobody's been sending me text messages anyway or calling me, except the Von Wolf demon sometimes. Why is that?
Wolf demon.
You very beautiful women. You treat me bad, me John bad. I want to know why you're doing this. Here's my mailbox right here. Right behind me. That's it there. That's my mailbox. I just got some mail out of the box. It's just stuff. People trying to advertise something. Here's another guy walking up the road. I don't know if you can see him, but right behind me. I don't know who he is, but there's no blacks at all around here, and that's what I like. There's another neighbor right there, right beside my driveway. That's his. I met that guy. He's another white guy. No blacks at all around here, and it's a nice area.
Jesus Christ, John! Play another note, bro.
Don't let the racism distract you, KC. He was talking about Von Wolf demon. Now, KC, because John doxes himself on a regular basis, trolls flooded John's YouTube channel, his Twitter, everywhere, because he asked for it. And they would pretend Von Wolf would partner with these catfish trolls, would pretend to be these beautiful women, one of whom had a Twitter account. Oh God, did I even save that? I don't think I did. Had a Twitter account where the handle was like real natural woman or something. Some stupid shit. It was like so obvious.
Michelin
and she would troll the
Mistress
shit out of him,
28.
and then right, and then he would catch on, and then she would say like, no, I really am real, and get him to come back and apologize and shit like that. And every single time, this Von Wolf would come in and steal the girls that were catfishing him, and he would just be like, he's a demon. This Von Wolf demon, right? So John had this crazy notion, and that's weird that John would have a crazy notion, that his poop was his poop was cursed. He had demons in his poop. Now, it was the Von Wolf demon that was cursing his poop, and to exorcise the demons from his diarrhea, which he saved in a Tupperware for 7 days.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Under his bed. Because Von Wolf demon was stealing all his girls and was very straight. The only thing to drive him out would be if John put his erect penis into the bowl of diarrhea. Because any straight man could not be in the same place as a penis. That's perfect logic. And he drove the demon out. And he took a picture of it, and he put it on his social media, I'm pretty sure.
He took a picture of what?
The poop smear, I think. And he said, "This is my holy shit. This is John's holy shit," which you'd think maybe he's trolling us, but I think we all know this is real. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna like just looking at this guy's face, like he's not trolling anyone. He's got a crazy guy look. By the way, my personal email address is KC. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, my phone number is. No, he's got a serious case of the phrenia. So, if you'll go to video 11 for me.
But one time I had this big, huge TV that my mother bought for $1, and I couldn't get it out of her van. And she told me to go find somebody to help get it out because she actually hurt her hand trying to help me get it out. And I couldn't get it out myself, and it was real big, and it's still in my house, and I'm not even using it. But I'm going to try to sell it on Craigslist. I've already got a personals ad on Craigslist to find me a woman, and nobody's even responding to that, and I don't understand it because I got the best ad in the world.
Does he?
Would you like to see his best personal ad in the world, Casey?
Would I? Come on.
Will you please, Casey, pull up image number 7?
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh my
now,
God in heaven.
Now, I've zoomed in so I can read this for everybody. His title is "I'm a Good Handsome Man." Parentheses Pensacola. This is image 1 of 9. I only have the first one, but I can imagine they only get better from here. John is 5'11", status divorced, and his Florida city is also just Florida. So he's double Florida man, and I think everyone can agree with that.
It says Pensacola up at the top. We know some people around Pensacola. Maybe they can hang out. Let's arrange this.
Maybe they can. We'll get them. We'll get them all the info they need.
I don't think we
reads,
need to get info to anybody. He just gives it away all the time.
Right.
It's not a problem. Finding him's not an issue.
He wants to be found. I am a divorced, handsome, holy man who is a minister of Jesus Christ, and am divorced through no fault of my own since 1995. Both ex-wives are bad women who commit adultery. Now, Casey, remember how his videos go. His writing is no different.
Oh, he's going to take a turn.
And the first... But ex-wives are bad women who commit adultery, and the first wife also attempted to stab and kill me with a large kitchen knife just because I said I did not like a picture she had on the wall, which knife I took away from her, who then started throwing pots and pans at me, which I took away from her also. I never hit or threatened to hurt her or any woman throughout my life. I lived in Missouri in a mobile home and married her through common law marriage to her. It was 1980 when I met her. She had an ad in a newspaper, and she lived in an apartment with her 6-year-old son. She was one of the most beautiful women I ever saw, and we had sex the first day we met. This is his Craigslist ad.
It is the best one. He's right. It's the best one.
And she was 25, and she was white and had long brown hair and huge boobs or breasts. And was slim and looked like Kate Upton or Kaylee Cuoco or Haley Clausen or Ashley Graham, more like her, whose pictures I have and show so women see the type of woman I want. And Satan and gay men and boys leave me alone. I have a 1-year new subscription to the Cosmopolitan magazine and a 2017 Sports Illustrated swimsuit magazine. Just that one. And a 2-year subscription to the Playboy magazine I purchased 3 weeks ago. My name is John. I, John, am not gay and never have been gay and do not want any gay man, boy, or transgender person to contact me. I don't think you have anything to worry about.
You know, this guy knows what he wants. God. He's very blunt about it. I see no faults in what John's trying to get done. I can't believe he didn't have Paul 45 Thomas anywhere in there.
I can't believe it either. But if there's one thing, Casey, that I know, it's that I want to live my life in such a way that makes me as happy as John is in image number 8. If you pull that up. Nothing makes John happier than photoshopping himself onto crude pictures of naked women and putting this as his Twitter profile picture, which it is still.
Oh my God, what does that say?
2017 Playboy Playmate from John Bulla at Bulla Steven. It's his age, which that's her age, 26.
He can't help it. He just loves giving away his address.
No. His address is now Crazy Bin, which he is institutionalized against his will in Pensacola, Florida. And so if you want to troll him or you want me to troll him, good luck.
Oh, man.
I probably have a better chance than most of you, but he is in the loony bin. So Good.
John
Good
Bulla,
riddance.
what a guy, huh? What a character he is.
A gentleman, if you ask me. Oh,
well, that was
DC.
fantastic.
So that is my nomination.
DC, obviously, if people want to check out the show live or just support what we're trying to do, they can visit our Patreon at http://www.patreon.com/2goddamngentlemen, where you can donate to the show at different tier levels and listen to the show in different ways, both audio and video related. And my phone number, not the voicemail, just my phone number, it's 860. So, DC, you want to give out the social and anything else we have to do? Obviously, Ladies of the Night coming up this week.
Ladies of the Night is coming up. It's going to be this Thursday as you're listening to this. Go to, as Casey said, patreon.com/2goddamngentlemen, because bonus content is only for gentlemen and goddamn gentlemen. The live show only for the goddamn gentlemen. And then go to our website at www.2goddamngentlemen.com. I think I'll work in a Paul 45 Thomas into the URL for John Bulla's episode, and why don't we let John lead us out?
Yeah, this week we have discovered a couple of gems, but the search, DC, for the ultimate gentleman, as always, continues.
Hello, I'm John Bulla, and this is the place where I want to meet people. There's a Subway restaurant. I want to meet very beautiful women.
Meeting adjourned.